And with uncertainty growing around the world, as Dan mentioned, many experts see an opportunity for China to make headway in Latin America. For more perspective, we're joined now by current affairs commentator Einar Tangen in Beijing. We'll get to that in just a second, Einar, but first, your reaction to President Xi's address to Peru's Congress.
Well, I think it strikes a very strong note and a very big contrast to what's happening in the U.S. The uncertainty about what Trump's America and economic policies are going to be are giving China an opportunity to set up a new world governance order, which stresses very, very open things, economy. Kind of ironic, given if you went back 10 years ago, the shoe was on the other foot.
Well, let's talk about that, because many say that China has a golden opportunity, as Dan Collins mentioned, to boost its influence in Latin America. You mentioned Donald Trump, the U.S. president-elect, just announced that he will indeed pull out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership on his first day in office, as he had been saying all along. So could this leadership change shake up all things trade and free trade agreements?
Absolutely. I mean, right now, everybody is saying that everything is in play. There's no relationship that the U.S. has that does not have an economic or political aspect that is now uncertain. And amidst this uncertainty, Xi is talking about building bridges where Donald Trump is talking about building walls. This kind of opportunity rarely comes along. It's kind of self-inflicted in terms of the U.S., but I think China will, it's not a question of being aggressive, but simply staying the course.
So talk about the importance of strong economic ties between China and Latin America and China's economic role there, because it seems like China has been continuously investing in that region, especially when the U.S. pulls away, as it pulls away.
Well, interesting. Since 2001, there was about a $1 billion investment. It went up by 2013 to $86 billion and has continued since there. There was some reticence on China's part about whether its relationship in South America would be seen as a challenge to the U.S. But as China has moved in, they've gotten pretty much of a welcoming sign, especially when it comes to investment. There have been sore points in terms of jobs, environment, and things like this. But overall, you're starting to see countries in Latin America turning more and more south-south instead of north-south.
Want to look ahead for just a moment. President Xi Jinping heading to Chile next. What are some things to look for? What are you looking for?
Well, there's going to be a number of trade agreements that are signed there. Amidst the uncertainty, I think you're going to see a very strong and welcoming response. Remember, each one of these countries should not be seen in isolation. This is part of a broader movement towards safety that the world feels is very necessary, especially in South America. You're seeing a lot of countries that are embracing socialist values in terms of jobs, education, water, basic utilities, healthcare, but at the same time looking for market tools. This is very much in line with what China has been doing itself and is something that is much more acceptable than the kind of ideological divide that used to be the norm.
All right, Einar Tangen in Beijing, as always, we appreciate your insight.